And so good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at CSL Redlands. And we welcome you to our Sunday morning meditation. And so I invite you just to become comfortable and still, become mindful of your posture and your breathing. You may want to sit comfortably with your palms just easily relaxing in an upward position on your upper thigh. And let's just take a few deep breaths in and out together, easily and gently. Just easy inhales in, and slow and deliberate exhales out for double the time. Easy, gentle inhale in. And a slow and deliberate exhale out for double the time. And with this next inhale, let's consecrate it a divine breath, a holy breath. We breathe that in. And we gently exhale out and release anything and everything that doesn't match that holy divine breath. And as we return to our normal breathing pattern, how good it is to be reminded that the divine is nearer to us than our hands and feet. It's closer to us than our very breath. For you may ask, did I breathe it or did it breathe me? And therein lies the oneness. Therein lies our spiritual freedom. And so we name this time of stillness and sacred silence a time of healing, a time of remembering this freedom, the freedom of our spirit that is not bound to the earth or bound to the physical or bound to the body temple. That we are indeed eternal, spiritual, immortal beings having a human experience. Incarnated on purpose, with reason. And so I invite you to reflect in the stillness of the silence, allowing, if you're willing, for any healing, any transformation, any revelation, any manifestation, any demonstration for your highest and best good to be revealed to you by the inner knower that knows. It made you and created you whole. It made you and created you perfect. It made you and created you complete. A divine idea in form on earth at this very moment in time. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing needing, nothing wanting. And so we surrender and consecrate this time of stillness to this remembering of the I am that I am. Allow it to reveal to you what is most needed by your soul at this very moment in time on your evolution. Allow for your highest and best good to wash over you now like a wave, providing everything most needed for your soul at this very moment in time. Breathing that in with each breath. And on the exhale, the wave returns to source energy, taking with it anything and everything that no longer serves you. Grateful for its release. Grateful for your freedom. Grateful for all the lessons. In gratitude for the healing and the revealing taking place even now. And just allow for your heart space to fill with gratitude, gratitude with each breath, and gratitude for our very life, and gratitude for our health, gratitude for the love that we are, gratitude for the knowing that we are the beloved, in whom Spirit is well pleased. Allow every molecule and atom of your being to be infused with this unconditional, divine, holy love. Even more gratitude on the inhale. And even more gratitude with the exhale. And so I invite you to bring your consciousness and your awareness back to the body temple. You may want to tap your toes to the ground, wiggle the fingertips, maybe touch them together. Being certain you can feel the chair supporting you. And when you're ready and in your own time, just gently and easily allow for the outer eyes to open, becoming aware of the energy and the people in the room and the space. Knowing that we have laid a foundation for unconditional love and healing, of transformation, of manifestation, of demonstration, and of revelation, for each person's highest and best good to be made true and so, here and now. And this concludes our meditation portion of the service. Namaste.
Thank you, Brother Mark. Namaste. Dream Band with us today. We can be doing some celebrating up in here.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in. understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about.
Well, it's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life.
It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort with smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about what? It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Well, it's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Yeah, swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this
Sing
heart.
that with us.
Oh, swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Redlands. My name is Mary Jo Morris, and it is truly a privilege and an honor to welcome you here with us for our Sunday celebration service. CSL Redlands is a new thought community living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. I've got a picture of him on the wall up there. Holmes studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are welcome here, no matter where you are on your journey of faith. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you're here with us for the first time, please raise your hand and let us properly greet you. We know that you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we're delighted to have you visit with us today. A gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and place them safely away so that you may participate more fully. We're so happy to have you with us for our service today, and we're grateful for your presence. And now our Centurion music, performed by the very talented Al Yankee.
Thank you, Mary Jo. I do want to share something with you this morning. Sometimes you get lucky and you get to meet your idols, people that you think the world of. There's somebody I've wanted to meet and have a conversation with for a long time, and it's the fellow who wrote this song that I'm going to do now. His name is Michael Gott, and currently he's the senior minister at Unity of Houston. This last Tuesday, I got to spend a couple of hours on a Zoom call with him. Just the 3 people, so we had it was kind of an interview. And he was talking about this song, which is very well known. I'm sure many of you will recognize it. He was working as a musician at Centers for Spiritual Living in Dallas. And at the same time, he was studying to become a minister for the Centers for Spiritual Living. And the studies, as Sonja knows intimately, I'm sure, can be challenging. And he said he was having a very rough time. He was just getting started, and it was confusing and challenging him, so he was talking to the minister there at the CSL in Dallas. And the minister said to him something that changed his life. He said, "It's all love. It's all you really have to remember." And he said he immediately, even before the next service, went out and wrote this song, changing only one word, and that's the word only. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love, only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only another one of our great New Thought musicians, Karen Drucker, heard that and she added this second verse. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, then I go inside, quiet my mind, and hear Spirit gently say that there is only love, only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only
So today's reading is from a favorite author of mine on Facebook named Kim Belew, B-E-L-E-W. I had a couple of days this week where I really struggled. I mean, really, really struggled. Deeply rooted pain rising to the surface. I didn't dig for it, it just showed up. As I emerge on the other side of it, I've been feeling like there's this global PTSD that is being experienced. It is generations of trauma that is surfacing. It's calling us all forward in a way that looks and feels chaotic and painful. It's born under the weight of shame, fear of being our truest selves. The pain endured through those who tried to be their true selves and the dire consequences of that. And all the ways we've muted ourselves in order to survive. And what I'm feeling is those things carried on just to survive, requiring compartments, distraction, pretending, hiding out from self-expression, feeling, being fully present has expired. So I feel these explosions of fear and anger, the dividing lines being drawn so strongly and lashing out at those old ways that once worked for humanity have reached their expiration date. But it's destructive and scary, right? So my part in all this is looking how I draw dividing lines in myself, how easy it can be to fall victim to the fear and push into the compartments within myself. The only way I know how to create the world I want to live in on the outside is to create the world within myself. That means I sit with the agonizing pain and recognize what my first reactions are and why it's there. It means I look at all the ways I can let fear push me into more compartments and then lash out when one of them is exposed, or retreat and live as less than my truest self, leaving me with the feeling of apathy and disappointment, which spills into all kinds of areas in my life. That is what I did for the past 2 days. I sat, I cried, I grieved, I was honest with myself. I began pulling up the roots of the things that were planted in survival and pain. I took down the wall of another compartment within, because for me, if I want the walls to come down in the world and see freedom and peace, I can only hope to achieve that by bringing down the walls in me and standing in front of the world with my own freedom and confidence in being exactly who I am. This to me is the meaning of a spiritual journey. I'm so grateful for feeling it all and not letting myself be sucked under by the world opinion and chaos. This is the only way I know to be the change I want to see in the world. And so I invite us to turn within for our opening prayer. Are you willing to do the refrain again from Only Love? Or whatever you had in mind?
No, that's fine.
So let's just take a moment and breathe in together. We breathe in that holy, divine breath. Feel the energy that was set in this space today in our meditation as we inhale and then exhale out everything that's preceded this moment in time. Being here and now, fully present, aware, alert. Knowing that this power and presence that created me perfect, whole, and complete created you perfect, whole, and complete. Just say it with me. I am perfect. I am whole. I am complete. Right here, right now. And it is from this place of unification and oneness that I speak a word of blessing over today's service, knowing that it continues to unfold with ease and grace and magnificence. And it is that magnificence that washes over each of us now, so that we receive the blessing, the healing, the transformation, the revelation that is most needed right here and right now for each of us individually and for all of us collectively to rise. So I bless the Dream Band. I bless our board of trustees. I bless David in the sound and tech area. I bless our ushers and greeters and everyone who's participated in today's service. We bless the food in advance. We bless our spiritual director, Reverend Sonja, where she is, God is, and the mouthpiece speaks through her this day, that no matter what has been prepared or planned, the highest message shall come forth to heal and bless, prosper, transform. And so let's just listen to this music once again and sing it out loud as an affirmation.
There's
only love.
love.
Declare that.
There is only love.
There's only love.
Love that heals.
Love that heals.
Love that sets
Love
me free.
that sets me free. Say that.
There is only love.
There's only love. And so with a grateful heart I just release these words to the law of life, knowing indeed they are fulfilled. Doesn't it feel good to celebrate life? Yes. Yes. And happy birthday, Jean. And we let it be so. And together I invite you to say it with me, and so it is.
So it is.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. Nothing to rearrange. I'm wonderful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is. I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So tell the bird of peace on earth that only love can bring. I'll help it grow by loving everything. I'm wonderful and capable, being the best I can, 'cause I love myself. The words for this next part are on the on your handouts, okay? I love myself just the way I am. I love myself so much. I can love you so much that you can love you so much. You can start loving me. I love myself so much. Let me hear you now. You can love you so much. You can love you so much. You can start loving me. Love myself so much that I can love you so much. Louder, people. That you can love you so much. You can start loving me. Come on. I love myself so much. I can love you so much. You can love you so much. You can start loving me. Thank you. We'll be back.
Thank you, Dream Band. Thank you, Al. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's good to be back. Yes. I was away in Chicago. Chicago. I heard somebody say Chicago. My sister got married, and so Daryl and I traveled to Chicago, It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, the joining of two divine beings. So I love myself so much, so I can love me so much, and I can love you so much, and we can start loving each other. That wasn't quite the words, but you know what I mean. It's all good. It's all good. So, the yearly theme that Centers for Spiritual Living puts out is Living Everyday Wonder, and we know that because it's a theme throughout the year. So you'll hear me continue to say that. But Mark said something in his reading. Sometimes we need to sit and cry and take down the walls, right? Sometimes that's just what we need to do. So the theme for today, the theme for July, is relationships. And speaking of relationships, let me make sure I'm on airplane mode, because I have two granddaughters. One is 8 and the other one is 3, and they both have iPads. And they will FaceTime me periodically through the day. So unless I want little faces popping up on this screen, I better make sure I'm on airplane mode. And I am. So this month of July is all about relationships. So relationships are that inner life and our relationships with Source. The relationships we have with ourselves, it lays the foundation upon which all other relationships are formed. You agree? Yes. So the title today of my talk is Me, Myself, and I. Because where does it start? Right here, right? So I want you to contemplate these words and what they mean to you, me, myself, and I. And as you contemplate this, I'm going to share with you what they mean to me. So my husband and I we were sitting down having a chat, which we always do. And I told him the talk title is Me, Myself, and I. You know, we were just kind of discussing it. And he reminded me, I don't watch football at all. What's wrong? I may have told this story before. I don't watch football anymore because when I was growing up, there was a Super Bowl game with the Dallas Cowboys. And they had that coach with the hat on. I think his name was Tom Landry, right? And they were at the last seconds of the game, and then the quarterback, Roger Staubach, right? Something like that? He threw this Hail Mary pass, I guess that's what you call it, at the final seconds of the game, caught it and won the game. And everybody I almost had a heart attack that day. Because Dallas was our team in my home. I stopped watching football after that. I'm not willing to die for the sport. I mean, it was serious in my house that day. Tensions were high, and Dallas was behind, so this was a real important catch that won the game. So my husband and I were discussing this, and so he reminded me of a San Francisco 49 player that in an interview with a reporter, when he was asked a question how he felt about himself, he said, I love me some me. And at the time, when the statement was heard by the fans, they thought, well, he's all about himself. This is a team sport. So they kind of felt like, okay, this guy is all about himself. They were shocked. They say he was arrogant. He's all about himself, and he's not about the team. He wants to be the superstar. But in actuality, it had more to do with I versus the team. But this level of self-love is actually appropriate, right, for you and I. It's appropriate for you and I. It is required. So how do we get from our negative thoughts that we might have about ourselves, that I don't like myself, I have no confidence, lacking limitation, limiting thoughts that diminish our love from ourselves, to the level where we can profess that I love me some me. So how do we take all that negative things, all those negative adjectives that I just spoke about ourselves, and switch on the light to positive adjectives like the one he used to describe the love he felt for himself? How do we do that? So therefore, I can see where the topic me, myself, and I would be equivalent to the high spiritual level of love for myself, for oneself. So in the Science of Mind magazine in 1995, in page 12, it says, our three greatest needs are to feel that we are needed, wanted, and loved. To feel that we belong to the universe in which we live. Our three greatest needs. So before I talk about how we get to the level of loving ourselves, I have a story for you. So I was reminded of when my kids were growing up, there was this cartoon, and I really enjoyed. I would sit down and watch what my kids watch. I wanted to know what was coming into their psyche. So there was this cartoon, Winnie the Pooh. Anybody ever heard of that? But remember Eeyore. Every time I think of Eeyore, I just want to do this. Because this was what he did all day. So Eeyore was ever gloomy, he was pessimistic, he was sarcastic, and he couldn't keep up with his tail. You know, it kept falling off. And then the other thing about Eeyore, that he had a house that was made of sticks that would fall apart. So the joke was, we had to keep rebuilding his house. So his catchphrase was, thank you for noticing. So in us losing our tail, which is losing ourself in this talk, and our house falling down because our house are made with sticks, Eeyore had all his friends to love on him. Pooh was about the honey, but he was also very sweet and very kind. There was Kanga and Roo, which one time they switched out Kanga and put in Piglet, and she continued on with the love that she would show her own baby to Piglet. So we love each other. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can start loving me, that kind of thing. So that's what I gained from that cartoon when I was writing this talk. All his friends came together. Now there was some ADHD ones like Tigger, bouncing, couldn't keep still. But in this 100-acre woods, it was a community of love. So that's what we want, and that's what we get here. This is our community, our container of love. So we project, talking about Eeyore again, but for us, we project what we carry within us, right? It's an out-picturing. It shows up. It shows up. We can only wear a mask so long before it shows up. One of the things I always say is, you take yourself with you. So now I want to share with you how we get to this level of me, myself, and I. In other words, I love me some me. So one of the ways to achieve this level of self-love is eliminating thoughts that do not serve us. So for example, I have a friend that has a habit of, if she makes a mistake, she's a brilliant person, by the way, but if she makes a mistake, she does this. She hits herself in the forehead, and then she says, stupid, and then she follows it by her name. So, gosh, I'm clumsy. I'm such a fool. When will I ever learn? So this is the kind of thing she goes around telling herself all day. And I had to witness this. So I try to tell her to don't use such negative words about yourself. Don't use such negative descriptions. Use positive descriptions because you are intelligent, you are smart, you are brave. She's so brave, you wouldn't believe it. So one day, we were sitting down and we were just talking, and she was going on about this happened and this happened and this happened, and she was hitting herself upside the head. And I was just like, enough. I said, the person that you're speaking about in this negative way is a person that I hold so near and dear. I love that person. And you have no right to talk about her in that way. She was shocked. But it changed in that moment the way the rest of the day went on. Now, I can't say what she did when she got home, but I know in that moment, me saying, hey, enough, it changed the whole outlook of the day for both of us. So another way to achieve this level of self-love is to let go of past descriptions of yourself from others, your mother, your father, people that were mean to you, etc. For example, when my daughter was in high school, Camille always had this beautiful hair. And she was very petite. She would be written up in the paper for things that she would do. And then these little flyers would come out in the newspaper in the community. And at first she would go to school and they would say, oh, Camille, I saw you in the paper, you're so great, blah, 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 blah. But then the next day, it was hate mail and mean eye and just people just being really negative to her. So, and then the girls would say, because she had such beautiful hair, they would invite her to go on outings with them. We're going to go to the mall, and we're going to go at 12 o'clock, and my mom's going to take us, and we're going to pick you up. Well, the car never arrived. So my daughter just assumed, I guess they didn't go, and they forgot to call me and tell me. But then when she would get back to school on Monday morning, she would find out that they did go, and that they left her behind. And one of the reasons was because they said, the girls used at that time hang time, and that is a description of how long your hair is, how long it hangs down your back. So they would leave her behind because the boys liked long hair. And so they excluded her. So she began to feel a certain kind of way about herself, that these girls were being mean to her. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes people are mean to us, people say things about us, and it changes the way we feel about ourselves. So what I did in that instance is, it was pretty drastic. I took her out of school. And I started homeschooling her. She was in, this was 11th grade. We had just moved to this community. But I took her out of school, and she spent the rest of her high school year being homeschooled. And I knew this would work for her because she's very studious. Nothing gets in the way of her studies. So I knew that this plan would work for her. But it may have been drastic, but I removed her out of the situation because I didn't want her to carry all that stuff with her. And I didn't want it to continue to affect how she felt about herself. And I wanted her to know that she's beautiful, just the way she is. And so lastly, the images that we see on both men and women's magazines, on the social media, could have a negative impact on how we physically, subconsciously, and consciously feel about ourselves. It could. So what I want to say to that is, in our philosophy, we know that we are whole, perfect, and complete, that we're made in the image and likeness of God, and that God does not make any mistakes. We are not mistakes. And based on what I know already, when we self-sabotage ourselves by using negative words and expressions to describe ourselves, we know that that is the opposite of what loving ourselves. When we use those negative words and we allow those to affect us, that is the opposite of loving ourselves, and we want to love ourselves. So in Discover a Richer Life, it says, all things, ourselves included, are some manifestation of it. Hence, all things have a direct relationship with it. And since it is all things, this relationship is direct and immediate. This relationship that we have with Spirit is direct and immediate. But when we allow others to define our standards of images and beauty, we know that this is not loving ourselves either. And when we allow the images and the media and print and television or in person to define the standards of what we should look like or become to satisfy others, that's not loving ourselves either. So in Science of Mind, what do? We give practical tools. So there are tools available to us for our daily spiritual practice to assist us in loving ourselves unconditionally and to the fullest, as you, as me, as we. So these tools help us to move from doubt and lack and limitation and all the things I mentioned before to me, myself, and I. So the tools that we have are contemplative meditation, where we focus on an intent and a purpose. We can sit in the silence, seeing ourselves as beautiful expressions of the divine, perfect, whole, and complete, being good enough for this physical existence on this plane. And so what I've been doing is some guided imagery. So we can do some guided imagery. And then we have our positive affirmations to develop a consistent daily routine with our affirmations, such as, I am beautiful. Say it, I am beautiful. I love me. I am perfect, whole, and complete. Okay, say it with some oomph now. You're talking about yourself. I am amazing. And so on, and so on, and so on. You didn't have to say that part. But you can make up affirmations. They're just easy. I love myself so much. I love myself so much. All right. Say it loud, say it proud. Kenny, thank you. And then there's spiritual mind treatment. This is where we seek out, you can seek out right here a practitioner to assist you with spiritual mind treatment. So we know and we witness the beauty of who and whose you are for you until you can witness it for yourself, until you can know it for yourself. That's what we do. And then I'll have the practitioners stand up so you can see who they are. So as we, excuse me. So we have practitioners. Now, what I want to ask you to do is, everybody have a handout? And it has, it starts off with, as I begin to love myself. Okay, let's read that together. Everybody have one? Okay, let's read it together. As I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering are only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today, I know this is authenticity. As I begin to love myself, I understand how much it can offend somebody if I tried to force my desires on this person, even though I knew the time was not right and the person was not ready for it. And even though this person was me, today I call it respect. We have to respect ourselves. As I begin to love myself, does everybody have a handout? Because I only hear a few people reading. As I begin to love myself, I stop craving for a different life. And I could see that everything that surrounds me was inviting me to grow. Today, I call it maturity. As I begin to love myself, I understand that at any circumstances, I am in the right place at the right time, and everything happens at the exact right moment, so I could be calm. Today, I call it self-confidence. As I begin to love myself, I quit stealing my own time, and I stop designing huge projects for the future. Today, I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do, and that makes my heart cheer. And I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm. Today, I call it simplicity. As I begin to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health, food, people, things, situations, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first, I called this attitude a healthy ignorance. Today, I know that it is love for oneself. As I began to love myself, I quit trying to always be right, and ever since I was wrong less of the time, today I discover that it's modesty. As I begin to love myself, I refuse to go on living in the past and worrying about the future. Now I only live in the moment where everything is happening. Today I live each day, day by day, and I call it fulfillment. As I begin to love myself, I recognize that my mind can disturb me and it can make me sick. But as I connect it to my heart, and my mind became the valuable ally, today I call this connection wisdom of the heart. We no longer need to fear arguments, confrontations, or any kind of problems with ourselves and others. Even stars collide, and out of the crashing new worlds were born. Today, I know this is life, and that is by who? Charlie Chapman. So in closing, and I want you to keep that and take it with you. In closing, we now have the spiritual tools, spiritual guidance, and direction on how positively and affirmative to love ourselves unconditionally as a divine expression of the highest God, who has perfected us both physically, mentally, and spiritually in its likeness. We are to go forth with this wisdom, knowledge, and a higher level of confidence in love with ourselves. So repeat after me. I love me some me. And so it is. Can you give that to Al?
Every morning the light keeps keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. Every day I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the thinking held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away, walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning, by grace another day to be. I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see things that I sought and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Of yesterday I'm letting go, walking away from the thinking held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away, walking away from the thinking held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away, walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Yes, I'm walking away from the thinking held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away, walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Yes, I'm walking away from the thinking held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Eddie Watkins Jr.
Now it's time for our announcements. Does everybody get the e-blast? If you don't get the e-blast, sign up with David. The first announcement is we have a cake in the back. Well, first of all, I got this card here for my birthday. It was in June 24th, and I was in Chicago for my birthday. But it's good to be remembered, and it's good to be loved, right? Is that what we're talking about today, love? Yeah. So we're going to show some love to our July birthdays. So anybody who has a birthday in July, please stand up. Let's applaud them. And let's sing happy birthday to them.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. July babies. Happy birthday, July babies. Happy birthday to you.
And the rest of your announcements are on the back side of your order of service. So now it's time for our conscious giving, I invite you to consider that the same portal from which we give from is indeed the same portal from which we receive. So let's expand into bigger and bolder givers, as well as bigger and bolder receivers. I ask my ushers to come forward. So please join me in placing your tithe and offering over your heart and affirm with me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And David has a credit card machine. And David, I'll see you after service for my tithing.
As I give, so do I receive, joyfully and gratefully. As I give, so do I receive, fully and freely. God is a river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know. As I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive, offering my first and best. As I give, so do I receive, knowing how I've been blessed. God is a river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know. As I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive.
And for those watching and for those who have Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, and we also receive checks, and we have a secured mailbox. So I invite the congregation to stretch out your hands towards me and the offering. I bless these tithes and gifts and offering, knowing that they are sufficient to cover the needs of CSL Redlands, which is a successful idea in the mind of God. How good it is to speak this word and know the truth now. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. So, tomorrow Monday is the 4th of July. So not only are we celebrating the July birthdays, but we're celebrating our Declaration of Independence, freedom, independence, that was adopted July 4th, 1776. So America was born on that day. So in Scripture, in Galatians 5th chapter, 13th verse, it says, "For you were called to freedom. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another." And then from our founder in his book, Mysticism, it says, "Now let us live up to our independence, but not by taking our power, privilege, or liberty to destroy our freedoms." So now I would like to invite up Kurt, Ed, Joe, and Brother Mark. So Ed, you're after Kurt, and then Joe, and then Brother Mark. Yes, it is. This is our closing prayer. We're going to start with Kurt, and Ed, then Joe, and then Brother Mark. So join us in consciousness. Join me right here, right now, and listen with your ears and with your heart to these words by our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Oh, I think we might need a microphone, so. Well, we're going to pass it around. So just hold this space, this sacred container of love.
Hello.
Yes.
A prayer for my country, believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America and in the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression for all. I offer this, my prayer for my country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, directing the thought and the activity of all who guide its affairs.
That goes to Ed.
I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and the divine heritage of everyone in this country, that they are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country.
I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of the people of this country, causing it to know that economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression. I know that no one can believe or be led to believe that personal freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security for all.
The all-knowing mind contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader in this country and every other country is now directed by this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. Each is impelled to act upon this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. Let's say that together. Abundance,
Abundance,
security,
security,
and peace
and peace
shall come to all,
shall come to all,
here and now.
here and now.
And I know that this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. That was written by Holmes and originally published in the Science of Mind magazine, July 1953.
And so it is. Thank you.
Let the light of spirit shine through me. Let the light of spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world. Let the light of spirit shine on. Can you do that clapping thing? It only appears once in there, but you can do it. Here we go again. Let the light of spirit shine through me. Let the light of spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world. Let the light of spirit shine on. Shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on. There we go. Let the light of spirit shine through me. Let the light of spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world. Let the light of spirit shine on. Shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, spirit shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on in me and you as me. Make it a great week. Now we've got a patriotic song, a New Thought patriotic song. So you were handed the lyrics when you came in because you might think you know the lyrics, and you probably know a bunch of them. But we've modified it slightly. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, in grace and liberty. Phil approves. Embrace the good of brotherhood from sea to shining sea. How beautiful for patriots' dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, let love thy power be, till selfish gain no longer stain the banner of the free. America, America, in grace and liberty. Embrace the good of brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Sound good.
Thank you, everyone. Today is Potluck Sunday, so there's hot dogs and chips. How much? Quiche and hot dogs. And a bun for the hot dogs. And I think Holly brought some vegan hot dogs. So help yourself to a meal.
Chow time.
Chow time.
Let me just introduce the band real
Oh,
quick.
introduce the band.
Kristen on the bass, Mac on the drums, and of course Al Yankee on the keyboards over here.
And our leader, Gilman.
Thank you. Here comes like a